Alright guys, so today's episode is going to be pretty quick. We're going to be talking about weather and lighting in this episode. The first mod we're going to be downloading is Interior Lighting Overhaul for New Vegas. This just does exactly what it says. It overhauls the interior lighting. You can look through the images here. It just tries to make it more realistic. So we're going to go over to the Files tab and scroll down to the optional files and download the Mod Organizer version with Manager. I had forgotten to start up the Mod Organizer. That's okay. It should open up and start to download. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and download Old World Blues Path Lighting. Go to the Files tab, download the main file with Manager. We'll go ahead and download all these and then finish up by installing. So next we have because the interior lighting overhaul, while there is a Tale of Two Wastelands version being worked on, it's not done yet. So in the meantime, we're going to be using a conversion of realistic interior lighting from Fallout 3. Same principle, same idea, just overhauls the interior lighting. So we're not actually going to be downloading the file here. If you scroll down in this post, a user by the name of, let's see, Poke Punch has merged all of the ESPs together into one single file. So download this here. I've already done that. And then if you keep scrolling down, the original author has uploaded an ESP file that's a patch for the Tale of Two Wastelands interiors. You guys might not get this. I did when I clicked on that to download it. It brought up this weird stuff. So all you have to do if that happens is right click and hit save link as, and then you just save it to your download folder and you get it here just like me. Okay, so the next one is Realistic Wasteland Lighting Enhancement. This changes the outside lighting and the weather, and the original mod was just Realistic Wasteland Lighting for New Vegas. This is an enhancement of that is compatible with Tale of Two Wastelands and adds all kinds of new weathers and everything. If you're using Tale of Two Wastelands, I would say this is the basically go-to weather mod. I think there is one more that was made with Tale of Two Wastelands compatibility mod. I think it was Project Reality, but this is newer. Some of the guys from the Tale of Two Wastelands team have worked on this, so this is the one I'm going to use. So this is the installation I'm going to cover. So if you go over to the main files, there's two main files: Fallout New Vegas Realistic Wasteland Lighting and Tale of Two Wastelands Realistic Wasteland Lighting. So obviously download the Tale of Two Wastelands version. Then under optional files, don't think we're going to be using any of these. Let me read up on some of these and I'll come back. Alright, so after reading these, I'm going to go with two of the optional files. The interior weather sounds. It says that there's a bug where sounds will vanish when you go through a loading screen inside an interior. So I'm going to go ahead and download that one with Manager. And then lastly, the Some Guys mod patch collection. I'm going to download that with Manager as well, because we have Russell and New Vegas bounties too. And then the last mod for today, we're going to be looking at Fallout Streetlights. This, if you've heard of Electro City relighting the Wasteland or just the original Fallout 3 Streetlights mod, this is a new version of that expands compatibility to A Tale of Two Wastelands. So what we're going to do is go down and download the Tale of Two Wastelands Streetlight 1.4. We're going to download the NMC patch. And then those are the only two files we're going to grab from there, because if you remember when we downloaded the uncut stuff, which would be these, we already got the patch for that. So, and then we also have some any settings that you can change. It says also these are the settings to control light distance. If Fallout setting these high like they are here will make the mod look even better with both cost and performance. You can go ahead and copy this into your Fallout Any if you want. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm already running max texture mods. I don't really want to hit my performance even more. So yeah, now we'll go on to the install. Alrighty, so back over in Mod Organizer we had interior lighting overhaul. So if you double click this, you see that it actually doesn't run the faux mod. So what we're going to do is go over to our Mod Organizer folder where all these mods are downloaded. If you followed the original installation, it should be in your Steam apps, and then in the New Vegas folder. But just wherever you installed Mod Organizer to, go to that folder, scroll down to Downloads, and then we're going to find, scroll down to the I, Interior Lighting Overhaul. We're just going to drag and drop this out onto our desktop, and then bring this faux mod out into our desktop so we can get rid of the archive. Go over to Mod Organizer, install mod from archive, then double click on that faux mod. So we have two versions here, the Ultimate Edition, Standard Edition. Ultimate Edition is the DLC version of Interior Lighting Overhaul, and if you have Tale of Two Wastelands, you have the Ultimate Edition, so install. And then we have some extras. This is going to detect if you have Good Spring Shack, which we don't have. We do have the Lucky's 38 suite, so we keep that checked. And then the Pip-Boy light, interior lighting overall, custom Pip-Boy light, increased radius, peach cream color. So this just changes the Pip-Boy light. I'm not going to use that. You can use it if you want. Next. And then for mod support, it automatically detects the mods you have. We have A World of Pain, New Vegas Bounties 1, New Vegas Bounties 2, Tale of Two Wastelands. We're going to untick this because this actually isn't completed. It only modifies a few things, and we're going to be using a separate mod anyways for that. So make sure you untick Tale of Two Wastelands, and you can leave the rest ticked. So next, this is some weather compatibility patches. There is no compatibility patch for the weather mod we're going to be using, so don't worry about this. And install. Okay, so that one's done. Moving on to the next one, Old World Blues Path Lighting. Double click that. Manual. You can go ahead and untick the Darker Nights ESP and the README. The only one you need is the OWB Path Lights ESP. And OK. Alright, so the next one we had was the Realistic Wasteland, or Realistic Interior Lighting conversion from Fallout 3. So we downloaded those files manually. So we can go ahead and go over to our Downloads tab and bring that out onto our desktop, and also the ESP. Now we're going to make a new folder, and I'm going to name it whatever you had here, Realistic Interior Lighting, and then I'm just going to put F03. Alrighty, and then we're going to go over to the main archive. It's just the ESP, so we're going to drag and drop that into the folder we just created. And then the interior, Tale of Two Wastelands Interiors patch ESP, just drag and drop that as well. Now we can get rid of that archive, and we're going to make the folder we just made into an archive. So we can get rid of the folder. Now go over to Mod Organizer, install mod from archive, and the one we just made, Realistic Interior Lighting Fallout 3. Double click that, hit manual, set data. We can just untick that, set data directory on there. I'm not sure why that folder got duplicated. If that happens to you, just untick the duplicated folder, make sure it's just the two ESP files, the Realistic Interior Lighting and the Interiors patch, and OK. Alright, then we had the Tale of Two Wastelands Realistic Wasteland Lighting Enhancement. Double click that, manual, drop down, set data directory where it says looks good. We can remove that from view. And then we had the Weather Sounds patch, manual, drop down, right click, set data directory. Just untick the Fallout New Vegas one. We just need the Tale of Two Wastelands one. So OK, merge. And then lastly we have the Some Guys mod patch collection. Double click, manual. This one's set up a little funny. Just open up to where you see the Fallout New Vegas, Tale of Two Wastelands folders. Drop down the Tale of Two Wastelands, and then for this ESP down here, Fallout New Vegas, Tale of Two Wastelands, New Vegas Bounties 2 patch, click and hold and drag and drop into the Tale of Two Wastelands folder, and then right click Tale of Two Wastelands, set data directory, and we have those 3 patches there. Go ahead and leave the New Vegas Bounties 3 patch on. I'll tell you why here in a second. Just hit OK and merge. I may be coming back and doing New Vegas Bounties 3 later, so I'm going to go ahead and for now just open up this in the left, open up Realistic Wasteland Lighting Enhancement in the left side, go over to Optional ESPs, and move the New Vegas Bounties 3 patch up into Optional ESPs. Like I said, we may come back later and grab that. So lastly we had, let's see, the Streetlights. So we can go over to our Downloads folder once again and bring out both of those files that we downloaded. Go over to Mod Organizer. Find the first one on the desktop, Tale of Two Wastelands Streetlights, manual. We don't need the change logs and we don't need the readmes. Everything else looks good, so okay. And then we have the patch for NMC's texture pack. Double click that. Get rid of the NMC on the name. Make sure you name it the same thing as that you named the first one. So this looks good. Hit OK and merge. Alright, and that finishes it up. So just go over to the left pane and check all of those. Now lastly, if you remember, we downloaded some patches. I've already done this, but we downloaded the, let's see, New Vegas Uncut Streetlights ESM patch, so that should have been enabled if you followed my guide, so just re-enable it there. Then I think there is some more further down. Just make sure all of your ESPs are enabled and they don't have a red exclamation point. So yeah, I'll go ahead and run loot, and then I will hop into game and show you guys what we've got. Alright guys, so before we hop into the game, just another little quick note on the realistic interior lighting for Fallout 3. After doing some playtesting, I have been experiencing all kinds of issues with the Tale of Two Wastelands interior patch. So for now, we're just going to move that up into the optional ESPs until we can see if we can fix that. Really not a huge deal. It's just that mod is not going to affect the Tale of Two Wastelands interior projects, or just for the ones in the Capital Wasteland anyways. Not too big of a deal. Doesn't really bother me that much. So just do that so that we can get our game running without any crashes. I was experiencing some crashes with that ESP file installed. So yeah, just wanted to hop in and tell you to move that. Alright guys, so that's going to cover everything for weather and lighting that I'm going to be using in Tale of Two Wastelands. Next time we're going to be talking about armor and clothes, and then the following episode we're going to be talking about weapons. I thought about doing those together, but it'd be a really long episode if we did that together, so I'm going to do those separately. So yeah, I'm going to let some footage roll in the background. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you found these helpful. I hope you continue watching these, and thank you. I'll see you in the next one.